Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Freeland here. You have been working so hard to understand characters in your story, and I'm so proud of you, and I know your teacher is too. We're going to put all of our skills together today and really think about everything we can do to learn about characters. So, we've learned to think about the story, what happens with the events with our characters. We've predicted what the story is going to be about. We thought about how our characters can be. We've also thought about what our characters like and don't like, what makes them happy and not happy, right? And we've thought about words that describe our characters. And we've also thought about how our characters might be feeling and why, right? Like our boy in our story was really proud of his baby sister at the end. So I thought I would just have some fun today and read you a book called Amelia Bedelia. This is a book that I liked when I was little, and there's other Amelia Bedelia stories. Maybe your family remembers those. And I want to put all those skills together in the story that we read today. So I'm going to read you this story called Amelia Bedelia, and I'll try and get it so you can see the pictures. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day of work, and I can't be here, but I made a list for you. You'll do just what the list says, said Mrs. Rogers. And Mrs. Rogers got in the car with Mr. Rogers and they drove away. My, what nice folks. I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. She's their housekeeper. Here she is. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks. I must get to work. Here I stand here just looking. Me, with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make a lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies. So I'm thinking that my story is about Amelia Bedelia. She's a housekeeper. She wants to do her best because she's worried about the list. It makes her happy to bake pies. That's what she likes to do. I'm thinking she's a person who, as a character, likes to make people happy. So Amelia Bedelia went into the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl, and she mixed and rolled, and soon the pie was ready to go in the oven. There, said Amelia Bedelia. That's done. Now, let's see what the list says. Change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. These towels are very nice, she said. I don't know why I should change them. And Amelia Bedelia remembered what Mrs. Rogers said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. She got out some scissors. She snipped a little here and there, and she changed those towels. I think that's what Mrs. Rogers meant. There, said Amelia Bedelia, and she looked at her list again. Dust the furniture. Did you ever see, hear, tell of such a silly thing? In my house, we undust the furniture. But each his own way. Amelia Bedelia took one look at the bathroom. She found a big box that said dusting powder on it. Well, there. A special powder to dust with, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So she dusted the furniture. Oh, that ought to be dusty enough. It smells really nice. So she put dusting powder all over the furniture. Draw the drapes when the sun comes in, read Amelia Bedelia. She looked up. The sun was coming in. She looked at the list again. Draw the drapes? That's what it says to do. I'm not much of a hand at drawing it, but I'll try. So she sat down and she drew those drapes. Boys and girls, did it really mean to draw the drapes? It meant to close them, right? Amelia Bedelia marked things off about the drapes. Now what? Put the lights out when you finish in the living room. Amelia Bedelia thought a minute. She switched off the lights. Then she carefully unscrewed each bulb and she put the lights out. Well, I guess these things need to be aired out too, like pillows and babies. Oh, I have a lot to learn. So what are you thinking about Amelia Bedelia? What is she like as a character? Is she a little silly? She doesn't understand things, does she? My pie, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So she hurried to the kitchen. Just right, she said, and she took the pie out of the oven and put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. Measure 2 cups of rice. That's next. Amelia Bedelia found 2 cups. She filled them with rice, and she measured the rice. Amelia Bedelia laughed. Well, these folks do want me to do funny things, and she poured it back in the container. The meat market will deliver steak and chicken. Please trim the fat before you put the steak in the ice box and dress the chicken. When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedelia opened the bag and she took the steak out for a long time. Yes, she says, that will do nicely. She got some lace and bits of ribbon, and she trimmed the fat before she put the steak in the ice box. Now I have to dress the chicken. I wonder if it's a he chicken or a she chicken, said Amelia Bedelia, and she went right to work. Soon the chicken was finished. So she added trim and dressed it, which really, I don't think Mrs. Rogers meant that, did she? Amelia Bedelia heard the back door open. The folks are back, she said, and she rushed out to meet them. Amelia Bedelia, why did you hang the light bulbs outside? Said Mr. Rogers. Oh, the list just said to put out the lights out, said Amelia Bedelia. It didn't say anything about bringing them back in. I hope that's okay. Amelia Bedelia, the sun is going to fade my furniture. I told you to draw the drapes. Oh, I did. See? Said Amelia Bedelia, and she held up her picture. Uh-oh. Next, Mrs. Rogers saw the furniture. The furniture, she cried. Did I dust everything well enough? That's such nice dusting powder. Mrs. Rogers went to wash her hands. I say, she called. These are very unusual towels. Mrs. Rogers dashed into the bathroom. Oh, my best towels, she said. Did I change them enough? Said Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers went to the kitchen. I'll cook dinner. Where's the rice I asked you to measure? Oh, I put it back in the container. It measured 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedelia. Was the meat delivered? Said Mrs. Rogers. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. I trimmed the fat just like you said. And she rushed to the ice box. Lace and ribbons? Oh, dear, said Mrs. Rogers. The chicken, you dressed the chicken, said Mrs. Rogers. Yes, I found the nicest box to put him in, said Amelia Bedelia. Box, said Mrs. Rogers. And Mrs. Rogers hurried over to the box and she lifted the lid, and there lay the chicken, just as dressed could be. Mrs. Rogers was angry. She was very angry. She opened her mouth. Mr. Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedelia she's fired. Just before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put something in her mouth. It was so good, she forgot about being angry. Lemon meringue pie, she exclaimed. I made it to surprise you, said Amelia Bedelia happily. So right there, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers decided that Amelia Bedelia must stay. And so she did. Mrs. Rogers learned to say, undust the furniture, unlight the lights, close the drapes, and things like that. Mr. Rogers didn't care if Amelia Bedelia trimmed all his steaks with lace. All he cared about was having her there to make lemon meringue pie. The end. So, boys and girls, if we think about the story is about, who's our character? Amelia Bedelia, right? She likes baking pies and making things happy. And I think she was sad when the Rogers were upset, right? I think as a person, she likes to make people happy and likes to help them out. As a character, she's a little silly and she doesn't understand things, right? So what do I think she's thinking? I think she loves the Rogers and she enjoys working for them, and she's happy that they love her pies, right? Okay, so boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed my little book today. So you're putting all of those things together today as you read, working with a partner, having a partner help you out, using all the tools we have to share about your book. Have a great day reading.